I'm with Lance, and we're going to have a different treatment now, and this treatment is called
acupressure massage.
There you go.
So it's a technique we use. It's not in place of acupuncture, although it can be used in place of acupuncture. But basically, it's massage, as we all think of it. But what you're doing is you're also manipulating certain points on the back or any other part of the body where we have acupuncture points. And the beauty of that is that you're getting like an acupuncture treatment as well as the massage. Mm-hmm. So people that are not too happy about having needles, maybe the first time, maybe they just want to experience a couple of needles, and then you can use the acupressure massage to manipulate the other points.
Sure.
It can be used in areas where people are a bit nervous about having needles. Wrists, interestingly, some people don't like to have needles in the wrist, so you can use the acupressure on those.
Right.
But it's particularly useful where you know, with back problems, where people come with a back problem and they're going to have an acupuncture treatment, and you just want to loosen up the area to get it ready to get the needles in, so to get the maximum effect.
Right. And how long does the treatment usually take?
Typically about an hour. You normally will have a conversation to start with to find out what actually is going on, and then I'll do some massage, which is probably about 15-20 minutes, and then maybe not some acupuncture afterwards, depending on what that person needs.
Okay.
But usually the whole treatment takes about an hour. It's very relaxing.
Marvellous. Well, looking forward to it already. Right, we're back in a moment.
My hands are warm enough.
Oh yeah, fine.
So, what you tend to do to start with, well, this is a training session in massage, is you just gently massage the sort of lower area just to start to warm it up. And as you're doing that, you're looking for particular knotted areas. Now we know you've got a bit of ache in the lower back, which is not uncommon. Is that tender?
It's very tender.
Yeah. When was the last time you had a massage?
A proper back massage. Oh, I had a shoulder at Kuki, but to be honest, for the life of me, I think probably going back to about 2001.
That's a bit long.
A wooden box with a grill in the bottom, and what that means is we're going to sit this over Chris's low back, and we're going to prepare it before we do that, but basically it'll sit like this and it will gently warm this whole area. So I suppose it's the equivalent of putting a hot water bottle or a heat pack on your back, but the heat from Moxa is very specific and it penetrates really quite deeply, so it will start off gently warming, and then what we need you to do is to feed back if the heat becomes too intense, because unlike a hot water bottle where the heat starts to wear off after a while, this will actually become more intense. So we're using loose Moxa to prepare the box, and we create a few little sort of balls. We try to make them into cones, and what happens with these is they sit on the grill in the box, and then we light them. They simmer away a little bit like incense really, so they're not actually on fire, they're just smouldering. The amount of heat generated depends on how much Moxa is in here. So, you know, we need to make sure that we're quite moderate in how much Moxa we put in each cone. So Moxa is is part of the mugwort plant, or Artemisia for those that know their Latin. And it comes in different grades depending on why you're going to use it. So this is quite a rough grade. What that means is it makes a very loose kind of cone. If we were going to put this onto a needle, you may have seen these sort of pictures of smoking needles, then you tend to use this more refined golden version because that clings together better. Because what you don't want to happen is for the hot ash to be falling on your patient. And then we're going to light these. And just get them smoking away. And this will give off a thick, heavy smoke, which is the downside of it, but luckily the patient doesn't experience that because they're face down. But for the practitioner it can be a little bit smoky. And then we pop the lid on so that the thing continues to smoke away. We should get the smoke coming through these holes. And then we're just going to place that over Chris's back. And it will start to hot up as those cones start to smoulder down, Chris. So you may not feel very much at first, but you will start to feel a gentle warming. And as I say, let us know if that becomes too intense, we'll remove it. Lance's treatment is focusing on the fact that energy is actually getting stuck in these areas where it pinked up first, which prevents the flow down this channel, down the bladder channel into this area. And we kind of know that from the fact that these areas are tight and this is a dull ache. If the stagnation was in the low back, you would feel a sharper pain in the low back. So the nature of the pain tells us. So the cup, what the cup's going to do is we're going to create a vacuum in the cup using a flame and then place this onto your skin, and that will start to really stimulate the circulation in this area. It will suck up a little sort of dome of flesh inside the cup. So I'm just burning out the oxygen really from in here to create a vacuum. Okay. And as you can see, there's quite a nice dome there. How does that feel, Chris? That's nicely sucked on, actually. That's really rather beautiful, and you can see already inside just how pink that's going as that's increasing the circulation into that area. So you will end up looking a little bit like Gwyneth Paltrow after this.
Great.
With some nice sort of
long
purple
hair
and ladybird dots on your back.
Yeah, you're going to look great on the red carpet with your little purple straps on the back. So for this area of the body, because it's, you know, the back is a nice, you get a nice big expansive muscle, we use quite large cups. The cups come in all different sizes depending on the size of the part of the body you're going to use them on. So I'll put one on each side. And with cupping, you can either leave them to work like this and draw the circulation into that local area. You can sort of pop them off now and again, just to be able to work around a slightly wider area, and that might be comfortable. These might start to feel a little bit tight, Chris, so if they do, let me know and we can pop them off. And the other thing you can actually do is, once you've got a really good suction like this, is to slide them around the area, which is why you need some kind of massage oil on. And you can see that you can, keeping them pressed firmly, you can widen that area and get. So this is called sliding cupping, and it's actually usually quite nice to have. How are you finding that? I know that cupping worried you a little bit.
It did. It really did. Only because I looked at the wrong video on the interweb.
Right.
Man screaming, having it done.
Right.
And the evidently was a wuss.
Oh.
This is very nice. It's quite pleasant.
It is. I like cupping. It's really quite soothing. I'm going to return that to the place where Lance identified most of the stagnation. And I'll do a little bit on this one. This one won't be as tight because the cup isn't quite as big, so I didn't manage to get quite as much of your flesh inside the cup.
And how's your lower back?
I'll let you know if there's any problems.
Is that warming up a little bit? It's getting
it's lovely.
nicely soothing. And as we can see, we do have to keep moving the box every now and again to check the skin, because that will, as it gets warmer, start to pink up. You can see that there's quite a lot of pinkness coming into that area as it warms, but there's a long way to go before that box causes any kind of